Check this out, y'all. You know what this is? You already know. Look at all the stuff happening in Florida, y'all. Florida is it. Look at this. This is Florida. Fort Walton Beach. I zoomed in, y'all. Let's see if we see anything. Look at that one. That looks like a portal. Oh, wow. Yo, what an amazing time to be alive. Florida got all the bang.
When they launch this fake alien invasion, everybody gonna swear it's real. They're gonna make this shit look real, y'all. Listen, this is gonna be the biggest movie. Listen, this is gonna be the biggest movie they never put out, nigga. Look, you see the guys over there. Now look, they over there doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm listening to them talk. Pay attention.
2024, a global event will alter the course of mankind's future. The world will stand witness to a massive alien invasion. Thousands of projected holographic alien warships will blanket the skies, sending people into a global panic. Real military crafts within the holograms will inflict actual damage to the surrounding areas to sell the gimmick. And as a result of the ensuing human chaos, a one world...
Alright, look. See, look. Y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little ones because my little mirror thing scratched up. I know you see those right there. Floating. Oh my... Bruh. This every day out here. Or every night. But still. Look at that. But this really in Miami. I'm not playing. Look, the airport is right over here. That's the airport. You know what I mean? It always got little lights and stuff. You know, it's probably airplanes. But over here, this ain't the airport. Look at that. And them clouds not even moving. How the whole cloud not gonna move? It's just sitting there at nighttime. It's crazy. Look, ain't no other clouds in the sky. But right over here, look at them. And look at those lights. Bruh, y'all could, hey. Oh wait, it's a couple clouds right here, but look, they just frozen too. Bruh, this every day out here.
Here. Look. You need to get the boys. Did the kids come out to look?
Yeah, like how did that
Did you see it though when it was over here? It looked so crazy. It looked like it's on fire.
Here.
I don't think that's it. That sound comes from over there.
That's the noise, isn't it?
What the heck? Look at it, boy. Look at it. Look at it. That don't even look normal.
It really looks like a hole in
It's like it turned into a spear.
Soyla, Annie. Soyla. Let's get in there. Come on. I mean, there's a cop right there.
Intel. According to confirmed eyewitnesses, they claim it was a 10 feet tall, grayish-looking creature that at times changed its colors to blend in with the people, but by it being so tall, people still saw it. Alien Miami footage investigation.
How have I not heard about this? My dad's a police officer in Miami, and I mean, like, he's even running for sheriff, and I just talked to him. He didn't say anything about that. Hey, did you, have you been seeing the alien stuff? Did you see that at Bayside? Are you serious? You're joking. You're joking. Did they tell you not to talk about it?
How many times do you want me to slice the pie? I'm not allowed to know about it.
What?
I do know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Can you at least say, like, whatever? So they're saying it's like a fight broke out. Why did they send so many police cars? Are you serious? You can't say any?
I don't know what else you want me to say.
You're no help, dude.
I'm sorry.
And like we trying to follow the crowd, get out of there. I look back, no cap, yo, no cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time. And it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving. Next.
Teens running, police converging, and a gray splotch that appears to be moving. Videos from an outdoor mall in Miami stoked wild claims this week on social media that aliens had landed on Earth.
When you have that many cops, airports being shut down, power being cut off, to say that all of it is done over a couple kids.
Look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time. And it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving.
The official story goes as follows. On Monday, a group of roughly 50 teenagers caused a riot at Bayside Marketplace, an outdoor mall roughly 5 miles from South Beach, according to the Miami Police Department. The teens were setting off fireworks, which led to a panic as some assumed there was a shooting, said Miami Police Department Public Information Officer Michael Vega. 4 teens were arrested. Police were dispatched for crowd control due to the juveniles refusing to leave. The police scanners were cut off and the airspace above the mall was shut down. In the days after the incident, users on social media launched a speculation, homing in on what they described as Miami Mall aliens. Some suggested police were responding to aliens, not teenagers. Several people reviewed video of the incident circulating online and claimed they could see an alien figure in the grainy footage. Authorities said aliens had nothing to do with Monday's incident. Still, by Friday afternoon, Miami Mall alien was trending on the social media site X. One eyewitness came forward on TikTok, but later recanted his story, saying he was trolling.
Yo, listen. Yo, y'all gotta chill. Yo, this shit crazy. I never been to Miami in my life. I was dead trolling, yo. Y'all cannot, yo, y'all can't be that, y'all can't be that gullible, yo. I was just dead ass trolling. I've never been to Miami.
Talk of alien sightings at Bayside Marketplace. On New Year's Day, there was a massive police response in downtown Miami. More than 50 young people armed with sticks began fighting. Police say juveniles were also setting off fireworks, causing chaos.
So now people are posting online saying that police weren't there to handle a group of rowdy teens, but rather 8 to 10 feet tall shadowy aliens. Conspiracy theories are saying a big creature could be seen standing in front of the entrance to the shopping area, Bayside. Today, the phrases Miami Mall and aliens of Miami have been among the top 10 searches on Twitter's trending tab. Twitter, of course, now called X. And Google News even has several reports questioning the event.
So we reached out to the Miami Police Department. They issued a statement saying in part, quote, there were no aliens, UFOs, or ETs. No airports were closed, no power outages.
Okay, so we have another huge update on this Miami situation, and this one comes from a masked individual. This guy has a mask on his face, and let me tell you what he's saying. On the screen, you guys can check him out for yourself. I guess his name is Mask Man or something here on TikTok. But what he's saying is it was angels. He's saying that when that portal opened up, it wasn't mean creatures. It wasn't something like that. He's saying that it was angels. And he said what actually happened is they were trying to communicate something to humanity. And he said he felt a strange sensation in his body while this was happening. And also that the phones did not work. He said when these strange beings stepped through that portal, the phones and everything did not work. That's when the power went out. So he's also stating that since that day, he has not been able to sleep. And when he does get a brief moment of rest, something keeps speaking to him in his dreams. So guys, this is a very, very interesting developing situation. And from what this man is saying on the screen, you see a picture of him, Mask Man. He's saying that the government, and this is for educational purposes only, is trying to conceal this information. And they are trying to capture these entities that are trying to share a message with mankind. So you guys can go ahead and watch his full video, but man, I'm gonna keep giving you the information as I get it. It's very, very interesting, and you have to have an open mind and understand that we don't know everything. I don't know everything, you know, and I might state something that is alleged. Everything I say is alleged because I'm not an eyewitness account, but I'm sharing the information that I'm getting now from you guys jumping on me in my video and telling me, hey, man, you might want to do a little more research. And as you guys shot those videos to me, man, oh man, this is very interesting and it's a developing situation. And from what he's saying, there will soon be more eyewitness accounts coming here on TikTok to tell you exactly what happened in Miami. Peace and love and deuces.
Okay, look, I don't know no easy way to say this, and I know I joke a lot, but ain't nothing funny today. All right, so boom. The other day, January 1st, it was a whole lot of police cars at Bayside, right around the corner, Biscayne Bay Boulevard. Y'all all know where it's at. It was 50 to 100 police cars, and they claimed that it was some kids. They got into an altercation. They started fighting and shooting fireworks, and they had sticks. I've been living in Miami over 10 years. That sound like a 6 to 10 police car job, if that. There was 100 police cars, y'all. So boom, I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm not with all that beating around the bush. They seen 8 to 10 foot creatures walking down Biscayne Boulevard and walking on Bayside. They said they didn't have no hands, they didn't have no feet, but they was just like, they weren't aggressive, they weren't trying to hurt nobody, kind of like looked like they were lost. They were like teleporting and coming back quickly and shape-shifting, like and not in like a it's crazy. I can't even say not in a crazy way, but in such a superior way. She said they weren't scared of us at all. I don't know who you believe in, what entity, what higher power, but you need to start believing in something, Miami, because they here. I don't know what they want. They said people got to shooting at them, and they weren't scared of police or nothing. What they tell y'all? Why you think they building bunkers? Bezos them building bunkers, and y'all sitting here not. Oh, this is a conspiracy. Ain't nothing about this no conspiracy. These is facts. They taking people's phones, deleting pictures. Look it up. You can't find it. You got to type in little certain things that don't got the keywords like the yammy or whatever that word is, 3 letters. Come on, man. Y'all get it together. I just had to come tell y'all it's real and this ain't no damn conspiracy. Get right with God now.
Guys, in case you didn't know, we're from South Florida, Broward County to be exact, Hollywood, Florida. But we were in Miami earlier. We were at Miami Mall and we seen aliens there. Check the news. What happened, bro?
Man, what's up, y'all? I'm here to set the record straight, man. Like, I literally have been getting interrogated by the Miami Police Department for days, my dude. Look at me. It is really aliens. It's really aliens. And I cannot believe that the Miami Police Department is really gonna try to make it seem like they had all those police cars and stuff out there over some kids fighting, y'all. We talking about 3 and 4 blocks. We get in, they asked us, first they asked us what we saw. It was me, 2 of my cousins, and 1 of my homegirls. All 3 of us being basically locked the fuck up. I ain't trying to get in trouble or nothing like that, but I'm just telling y'all, man. This shit is so real, man. Like, everybody saw it. There will be more reports coming out. There will be more reports coming out on this, man. But I just want to go on record and speak my truth. You know, they asked us not to speak about it. Any blog site, any news site, anybody who wants to talk to me, please get in my DM, man. Because that's the only way I would tell my whole truth. But I just want to let y'all know, man, aliens are real. It was 3 of them. And we couldn't believe it. Y'all like this video, get this video trending, and I'll post my own cell phone footage. They tried to actually take my cell phone footage. You know what I'm saying? I showed them that thinking that I'm helping the world. They trying to delete it.
First, our response to that big incident in Bayside Marketplace. What happened was there was about 50 or more juveniles that were shooting fireworks at people. There was also some looting going on. So officers that were on that scene were having a little bit of trouble containing it. So they called what is called a citywide 3, which every officer in the city responded. That's why you saw so much police presence for that call to contain that crowd. Now, there is now video going viral of 8 to 10 foot aliens walking around Bayside. It's actually just a person walking with a shadow. So I can confirm to you all here today right now that there are no aliens in Miami in Bayside Marketplace at the moment. So it's Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend and stay safe.
Yo, I just got back from Miami, like this morning. And I was over there when all that shit went down at the mall, you know? And there was some stuff going on. Yeah, there was some teenagers involved, and I'll tell you that because I was there. I'll break it down to you as far as like what went down and stuff like that. But there was a bunch of teens, right? And they had some little fucking little like a radio, like a little DVD player. They were fucking around with it. They were like, yeah, watch this. And then I'll show you. Watch, let me flip this shit around. Show you exactly what's going on. Yeah. Okay, I was in Miami because I was on a little graffiti expo and shit. So I was over there because dudes had me over there so I can go paint, right? So I was hanging around with my mans, and then we went to the mall just, to see what's up. So this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what I'll draw you what can happen. This is what happened. Okay? There was a whole bunch of teens, right? A whole bunch of teens, and they had this little fucking box, like a little DVD player type thing, right? And they were like, yeah, watch, go ahead. And there was a whole bunch of them, but they look all nerdy. They weren't like thugged out. They all dressed nice and shit or whatever, but they were just right there, combo and shit. And a lot of them had like backpacks, and some of them had like weird ass glasses, like welding glasses. And I was like, what the fuck? And the other guy was like, just go ahead and plug it in. We're right here, we're safe, And so somebody plugged this shit in, and it started flickering. Right? Because there was a column right here. I was over here on the top. I was up here on the top of the level. They were down here, and I was watching them from over here. Okay? So this shit started flickering, and it was flicking the rows of lights right here. All these lights were flickering. Then it started popping. When it started popping, everybody from over here started running this way to see, because everybody was nosy. And as soon as it started popping, this thing started glowing, and it started going like a force field. And everybody that was behind this, that I was seeing, everybody looked like this. Like digital. Like it was being disrupted by the wave. Only right here. Not right here. Everything else was still flickering. Right here was still popping. People were running. As soon as they got close and they see how this thing was moving, everybody started going this way. When they started going this way, these guys started backing up, because from this, it started glowing, and it looked like somebody put a foot out like that. And then somebody put a hand out like that. And then all you see was this. All you see was like this, an image like that. That's all I seen. This was all glowing, so it was bright. This was the dark thing that I thought I seen come out. It looked like that. That's what came out. I was right here looking. It was me and 4 other dudes. 2 other guys ran over here and started filming. I'm waiting for them to give me the footage. But they say they got this thing coming out, and it didn't look like somebody. It looked more like everything got disrupted and was all wavy, and it did that effect. That's what it looked like to me. I'm a graffiti artist. I can do all kinds of shit with a spray paint can and make shit look like, whatever. But, when you get a mirror and bend it and all kind of crazy shit, or, the sounds and whatever shit they got going on. But yeah, man, I seen this. This is what I seen. And it looked like it was coming out of this. And it's because whatever little box they had was bright and almost like one of those military flashlights that they were trying to plug up, but it had like a horn to it because it was like, and all this was like disrupting and this shit right here was popping, all this right here was popping. But this is what I seen. This is what I seen come out. And everybody's taking off, screaming like, oh my God, look at that. Everybody's turning around and look back to see this. And they were like, oh my God, and running. And at that point, this shit already fell and broke. And we were still right here walking this way because somebody started shooting from over here. Because we seen lights, like 2 or 3 lights. And then the dudes that are right here, because those people right here looking, they took off this way.
Follow to see more.
We've got Nephilim, we've got the Giant of Kandahar, we've got the Greys, and we've got tall whites. What's the difference? Reptilians, mantis. First of all, angels can shapeshift. We know that the dragon, the enemy Satan, can appear as an angel of light, not his true form. The Greek word, and this was taught to me by my good friend and brother who's no longer with us, Russ Dizdar. The Greek word is metaskitsmonosai. They have the ability to shapeshift and present themselves basically however they want to. Karen's handler, Karen Wilkinson, who we published her book, Stolen Seed, Evil Harvest. It's a must-read if you're into the alien abduction phenomena, because it's real. It's not demonic delusion. These people are taken. There is a breeding program that's going on. We talked about this in our 4th film, but then we link it later on in film number 6 on counter mutilations, and we show how they're inexorably tied together. But once again, I digress. So you've got fallen angels can shapeshift. They can appear pretty much as they want to. They can appear as your grandmother, your dead grandmother, if they choose to. Greys, the Greys with the big heads and the almond eyes, there's no reproduction system that's there. They don't eat. So what are we looking at? In my opinion, these are avatars. They are essentially meat suits. They are biological constructs for the demons. What are demons? Demons are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. Let's back up. The seed of the dragon will be at war with the seed of the woman. So that's Genesis 3:15. That's the gateway to the rest of the biblical prophetic narrative. So the seed war erupts 3 chapters later. Fallen angels come down. We know that from the book of Enoch, 200 of them in the days of Jared on Mount Hermon. And by the way, Mount Hermon is Nephilim Central. That's where all the mischief, as Chuck Missler liked to call it, begins. That's the nexus. That's the starting point. So the Nephilim are the offspring of fallen angels and human women, creating a hybrid being known as the Nephilim. They were never supposed to be here. This is why the flood of Noah occurs. That's number 1. So the Greys, let me back up. The Nephilim perish in the flood. They become the disembodied spirits which roam the earth, i.e. demons. How do we know that? The book of Enoch. Those of you who have an issue with the book of Enoch, I'll just say this. Jude quotes the book of Enoch. It was obviously widely read in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd centuries. Jude's quoting from the book of Enoch. Is it part of our canon? Now it's not. But in the Ethiopia Bible, it precedes the book of Genesis. In my opinion, if you were going to keep one book from the people, you keep the book of Enoch. You're going to keep one book away from the people of the world. That's the book you keep out, because it tells you exactly what's going on. Fallen angels are coming down. They're grabbing the women. They're going into them multiple times. They're having children by them. These are hybrid beings known as the Nephilim. They are soulless. So you've got demons wandering the earth. They're earthbound. So what does the dragon do? The dragon knows that a demon, in order for a demon to manifest, has to inhabit a person, has to inhabit an animal or an object. So what does the dragon do? He creates the Greys. It's a biological construct. It's an avatar. How do we know this? Because experiencers, people who have been on board the ships, including Whitley Strieber, talks about seeing the Greys stacked up like cordwood, stacked up like chairs, okay? One on top of each other. And there is no reproduction system, as I said earlier. There doesn't seem to be a digestive system. So they're biological suits. They're expendable. I remember sitting down with the late David Flynn and talking to him about this, and he also agreed on that. So moving along, now you've got the Giant of Kandahar, all right? And the Giant of Kandahar, we don't know how old that thing is. According to the shooter and the eyewitnesses, the smell was so overpowering, people began to gag. It made them nauseous. So are we looking at a being that's 1,000 years old, 2,000 years old, 3,000 years old? And what about Bigfoot? So, Bigfoot, in my opinion, is a modern-day Nephilim. It's a hybrid. I believe that they are all have a nefarious agenda, in spite of what some people tell us. That's right now, with the evidence I have, that's what I'm going with. There's a very nefarious agenda when it comes to Bigfoot and Sasquatch. They also have the ability to pop in and pop out. The Kandahar giant allegedly had the same ability to bilocate from one place to another. Again, this comes from years of research, talking to whistleblowers, talking to people that have come up to me, and everything is very privy information. In other words, I can't divulge the source. But some of these people were embedded in special forces, and I'll just leave it at that. So let's walk through it. Fallen angels are fallen angels. They've come down and they create through grabbing the women and having sex with the women. Okay, and for some of you out there, you got a real problem with that, but that's what happens. They create a hybrid being known as the Nephilim. The flood happens, the Nephilim are wiped out. The disembodied spirits of a Nephilim are the demons that roam over the earth. Disembodied spirits, in order to manifest, need something to dwell in. A human being, a group of animals like the swine, where Jesus cast out legion from the man of the tombs, and they go into the swine, or an object. The giant of Kandahar, in my opinion, may be thousands of years old. In other words, we know that there's a diaspora when Joshua and Caleb go into the promised land. Are we looking at the diaspora of giants? Afghanistan is not that far away from the Middle East. There is a cave system, allegedly, that is underneath this planet, and you can go from one part of the planet to another. That giant at Kandahar came out of a cave, and more about that later. So you've got the Nephilim, the disembodied spirits, which become the demons, the Greys, where the demons can inhabit those biological constructs, those suits, and they can manifest in this dimension. The giant of Kandahar, which can bilocate, and Sasquatch, Bigfoot, which also can bilocate. They come in and they come out. They're interdimensional entities, in my opinion. Let's walk through Miami. In the 90s, Barry Chamish, who was an Israeli journalist, wrote a book, The Return of the Nephilim. I met Barry, and at that time, this was 1999, I had my first book in the Nephilim trilogy published, Nephilim, The Truth Is Here. And I went down to see Barry. He was speaking at a MUFON meeting, and we met and we talked, and I just said, "Hi, Barry," and I held up the book, and his jaw dropped because he realized someone else was in the same genre that he was. And Barry and I would communicate through phone and internet later. He passed away a number of years ago now. Barry's book talks about the giants appearing in Israel. There were footprints, there were photographs. So that brings us to what might have happened in Miami. Don't know. There's several TikTok reports. There's allegedly from a couple of people who were there. They saw shadowy figures, very dark, very tall, and they would bilocate from one place to another. What are we looking at? Folks, I have no idea. I wasn't there. If you know somebody who maybe has cell phone images, no matter how blurry, of the event, please shoot them here. LA@LAMarzulli.net. LA@LAMarzulli.net. So I'm following this story because, 60 to 100 police cars converging on the mall because some teenagers are throwing firecrackers and battling each other with sticks. That may be exactly what happened. That may be the truth. I don't know. I really don't know. And a group of teenagers, you get 100 teenagers together wearing ski masks and rampaging through a mall, they can do...
The world government is planning a supernatural event of its own. According to reputable sources, the government are going to fake a global alien invasion in the year 2024 in order to usher in a one world government. Here's where it gets really interesting. In his 1994 book, Project Bluebeam, investigative journalist Serge Monost writes that the United Nations, NASA, and other government agencies have been working in secret since 1983 on a top secret operation called Project Bluebeam. The purpose? To pave the way for a global government by fooling people into thinking it's the end of the world. Here's how it works according to Mr. Monost. First, the global elite will fake an alien invasion, convincing the world that aliens are planning to take over major cities across the globe. Second, religious populations will be treated to a rapture or fulfillment of their religion's prophecies. This will all be fake, conducted through the use of large-scale holograms and microchips hidden within most modern electronics.
In 2024, a global event will alter the course of mankind's future. The world will stand witness to a massive alien invasion. Thousands of projected holographic alien warships will blanket the skies, sending people into a global panic. Real military crafts within the holograms will inflict actual damage to the surrounding areas to sell the gimmick.
Once the various nations of the world topple under the mass of civil unrest and panic, the New World Order will assert itself, and the people of the world, desperate for any sort of authority, will accept its rule. The notorious globalist Henry Kissinger let the cat out of the bag about the plan in the late 70s. Kissinger, who is Klaus Schwab's mentor, explained in clear terms how the globalists would convince Americans to accept the New World Order. He wrote, "Today Americans would be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow, they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told that there was an outside threat from beyond, whether real or promulgated, that threatened our very existence. It is then that all the peoples of the world will pledge with world leaders to deliver them from this evil. The one thing every man fears is the unknown. When presented with this scenario, individual rights will be willingly relinquished for the guarantee of their well-being granted to them by their world government." Kissinger wasn't the only insider in the late 70s speaking about how the elite will attempt to hijack humanity and brute force the world government upon them. Wernher von Braun, the German and US aerospace engineer who worked on Operation Paperclip, confessed on his deathbed in 1977 that the global elite were planning to use terrorists and pandemics as false flags to manipulate and control the masses. Even more interestingly, von Braun said that the final false flag will be a fake alien invasion. The global elites engineered a crisis with the COVID pandemic to erode the sovereignty of nations and terrify the masses into compliance, and they half succeeded. But as anyone who has been paying attention to the disturbing rhetoric coming out of Davos recently will know, the global elite are not done with us yet. It appears that COVID was the dress rehearsal and they have an even greater con up their sleeves. So what should we be doing to stay alert and ensure they don't get away with the plan? Mr. Monast provided details about exactly how the global elite will perpetrate the con. He stated that NASA will use low-frequency electromagnetic waves to communicate telepathically and that the New World Order will phase out cash. At the time, skeptics had several issues with this conspiracy theory. First and foremost, the technology required to inundate the world with realistic visions of aliens and messiahs simply didn't exist in the early 1990s. But fast forward to our present age and all of the futuristic tech that Mr. Monast spoke about has been rolled out by the elite in recent years. There is no doubt that the global elite have the technology to pull off the con. We do know that the US government briefly entertained the idea of using a hologram during the Iraq War. US Air Force planners brainstorming on the best way to achieve a bloodless coup in Iraq proposed creating a giant hologram that would appear to be Allah commanding Iraqis to overthrow Saddam Hussein. This plan was never implemented, but the fact it was even considered at such a high level proves that the technology exists. Microchips, holograms, electromagnetic waves for telepathic communication. It's uncanny how everything Monast wrote about in 1994 has been rolled out by the World Economic Forum in the last couple of years. Skeptics at the time also questioned whether governments across the world could really cooperate and coordinate closely enough to pull off this mass con. But again, everything Monast wrote about in his book has come to pass. The World Economic Forum has penetrated governments all over the world, placing its own people in the highest offices in the land, in Canada, New Zealand, France and Brazil, to name just a few countries.
That we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more half of this cabinet, are for our actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
In 2023, there is no question that governments across the world could coordinate closely enough to pull off a mass con. We've already seen it happen with the COVID pandemic. The global elite had governments and mainstream media singing from the same hymn sheet. Mr. Monast was said to be writing a new book with bombshell further information regarding government plans for Project Bluebeam. However, he was found dead in 1996. The official cause of death was listed as a heart attack.